back-to-back champions up on the glass.
These two teams played back on May 25th. Jackie Young with the basketball first. He gets it over to Chelsea Gray, who came back from that lower leg injury. And right off the bat, Jackie Young.
A nice flare screen, and Jackie Young, one of the best three-point shooters in the WNBA, gets it started.
Clark gets it to Boston. This team, this duo has been clicking. Looks like Leah might have gotten away with a travel. Asia gets the basketball. Kelsey Plum always locked and loaded. That one falls away. Alyssa Smith is off to a great start for Indiana.
Well, Vegas is the highest scoring team in the league. You got to put some pressure on them with your own transition game and your offense. I think it's hard to guard them all, Pam. They're so good offensively. They share the ball. You got to score with them.
Chelsea Gray trying to get the ball into Plum, who's able to collect it. Stokes is never going to shoot from out there, so they're going to slough off of her. Gray airballs it, and Boston comes up with the rebound.
Head up, eyes to the rim. Caitlin Clark looking to put pressure on.
And stumble to the floor. Head coach Becky Hammond says Jackie is the best two-way player in the league. You look at what she does offensively, defensively gets tough assignments like Caitlin Clark.
Well, she always guards the other team's best player offensively.
Chelsea Gray a little up to the foul. Chelsea Gray, probably no coincidence, right? The Aces were a 500 team without her. And since she has come back, she's been brilliant, including Saturday. Look at that, only missed one shot in that game, hit all 3 of her threes.
Well, we've known her history in this league to be about clutch. She wants the ball in the biggest moments, and I think she's a pass-first point guard. She's thinking distribute, not score for herself, which makes this team really selfless.
Caitlin off the curl, got hit, and has a chance to shoot 3 free throw.
Up by as many as 10 before Phoenix made a run at it to cut the lead to 1 possession.
Caitlin gets all 3 to get Indiana on the board. A couple of South Carolina Gamecocks right here. Do you see the double coming over by Melissa Smith?
Have to try to make her go right, even though she's capable, but you got to go with the percentages.
Asia leading the league in scoring, just under 27 points per game, and nobody scores more points in the paint. She's now second in the league in rebounding. Angel Reese was the June Rookie of the Month in this league after Caitlin won it in May.
10 consecutive double-doubles for Angel Reese.
No one has ever done that. Broke Candace Parker's record. That's a tough pass. Somehow Clark was able to get it into Smith, but she couldn't get a clean look.
Another block for Asia Wilson.
That is 2 now for Asia. Plum in the corner. Now Mitchell gets it out to Samuelson, who's defended by Gray. Tried the spin move, but it was knocked away. This was a concern for Christy Sides. Vegas getting in transition.
Yeah.
She says her team is not great in transition defense.
Well, Vegas puts pressure on everybody in transition, but this is what Indiana has to do. They have to play in the open floor. They don't want this to be a quarter-court game. This has to be fast, up-tempo, and give Caitlin Clark some space to have vision in the open floor.
Caitlin has not taken a shot yet. Young has it rim out. Clark gets a screen from Boston. There's the pick and roll, and easy. Look.
That's where Leah Boston and Caitlin Clark's chemistry has become so solid. It's that drag screen, playing up tempo, pushing shooters to the corner, and opening up that middle third.
And we talked to Caitlin earlier today, and she talked about how that chemistry is getting so much better. And is there any better passer right now from the backcourt than Caitlin Clark?
3 consecutive.
You have to have key ingredients. For them, Chelsea Gray is a salt. The good salt, though, the right amount. You need to make a meal good and special. If you don't have it, it's bland. It doesn't leave you wanting more. And she said with her, she's just that special. She gets everyone going, and just having her presence.
In a good way, that's an Alyssa Smith with the foul, and that's interesting, the food analogy, because Kelsey Plum said something similar. She said, without Chelsea, it's like we're cornbread. It's good bread, but with her, we're like this great cake, this sweet, beautiful cake. So whatever way you want to look at it, she is a key ingredient. I think she's the best point guard in the world, and it's just so great to have her back on the floor. Neither Caitlin Clark nor A'ja Wilson have taken a shot yet. That pass goes astray.
Caitlin, so good at reading Pam Brown on defense. That was a really good ATO defensively by the Las Vegas Aces.
Wilson's first shot attempt is short. Indiana on that 6-0 run, all 3 of those buckets assisted by Clark, who just got hammered at midcourt.
And her rim runs opens up the floor in transition on the offensive end.
First foul on Stokes. You heard a big round of applause. That's another Indiana turnover because Alicia Clark is on the floor.
Well, this is when they go to a little bit of a smaller lineup on the floor with Clark playing at the 4. People forget what a great scorer she was in college. Twice she led the NCAA in scoring when she was in college at Middle Tennessee State.
And then she came and got cut a couple of times. Becky Hammond was talking about it. She said in her rookie year at San Antonio, or pardon me, when she was still in San Antonio, they cut her. And she's one of those great success stories. Chelsea Gray going to get called for the foul. Clark's former head coach, Lisa Bluter, who is sitting courtside. There are 3 Hawkeyes here playing.
Everywhere Indiana goes, there's a lot of number 22s and a lot of Indiana fever and a lot of Caitlin Clark.
Clark with another rebound, who was 1 rebound away from a triple-double in their last game at Phoenix. Kelsey Mitchell up and under.
So explosive. Another great cross-court find and transition before Vegas can get organized. A great attack on the baseline by Mitchell.
Indiana's hit their last 4 shots after they missed. They're eating the Fever in scoring this year, just over 16 points per game. And only Tamika Catchings has scored more in Fever history. Smith left open, a little floater off the back of the rim.
This is where A'ja Wilson's game is just added more value. Look at this, she brings it up the floor, she goes 2-man game, naked offense. When Chelsea's on the floor, clearly she's the point guard, but when she's not, they have lots of ways they can get into their offense.
And they had to play 12 games without her to start the season. Young gets it over to Plum. He knocks it down. That stops a 10-2 Fever run and puts Vegas back on top. Clark pulls it off the back rim, and one of her best friends on the planet, Kate Martin, gets the rebound. Alicia Clark fouled underneath. Indiana on TV a lot this year.
A lot of ratings, a lot of attendance.
Record-setting ratings, record-setting attendance.
Good business for the league.
Anifak Benlay just checking in, takes the shot, and then gets her miss. Had been out with a foot injury. And that's blocked by A'ja.
A'ja Wilson.
Shot clock winding down for Mitchell, who put one up and hit it. Kelsey Mitchell, an exceptional scorer, to say the least.
Incredible focus on Kelsey Mitchell right now.
We have 3 of the top 4 scorers in the history of the NCAA in this game. Plum's one of them. Remember, her record was broken by Clark, and now Plum is second now because Caitlin passed her, and Kelsey Mitchell is 4th. Diasia Fair scored 1 more point in her career than Kelsey Mitchell. Did use the COVID year, so played in more games than Kelsey, but boy, what a great player Plum was at Washington. And was so gracious when Caitlin Clark passed her last year. Caitlin Clark with just free throws so far in this game. In fact, still has not taken a shot from the floor. Did miss a three, pardon me, so just the 1-3 attempt for Caitlin. Asia uses that left hand. Rebound taken down by Boston.
In fact, Benley gives Indiana some more length on the glass and some quickness up the floor. Oh, look at that pass.
Benley couldn't convert.
You see that big wrap on Fact Benley's hand on her right hand. She suffered that injury in the Seattle game.
And right thumb. Here's Christy Wallace. Little no-look pass from the Aussie over to Mitchell.
Hey, this is the way Indiana has to stay in the game with Las Vegas. They have to continue to play in transition.
Olympic team. Come right back to the line. And Jackie Young subs out. Here comes our third Hawkeye, Megan Gustafson.
Megan Gustafson has really worked on her face-up game so that she can bring some versatility off the bench. You know, when she was in college playing for Lisa Bluter, she was basically a low post, no dribble, score with her back to the basket.
Hit 70% from the floor in her senior year at Iowa and had been their leading scorer until Clark came around. Gustafson scored on by Fact Benley. Coming off a 10-point effort against Phoenix. Beaver will go home tonight as they conclude this Western road swing. Asia
at the nail.
Asia's first field goal. Mark still has not hit. Plum directing traffic. Good decision to get it into Wilson. Inside a minute to go now in the first quarter. Wallace pulls up and buries it.
I would say Christy Wallace has handled coming off the bench. She's been a starter. Katie Lou Samuelson got the start tonight. Adds to the depth of Indiana, and their bench has to be productive.
Started 15 of their first 20 games. Asia again, she's heating up.
So versatile, leads the league in scoring, 26.9 points per game.
That would be a new WNBA record, which is currently 25.3 points per game, set by Diana Taurasi.
And getting rewarded.
Vegas had a foul to give, so Gustafson had a foul. Clark finding tough going, but the cleanup.
Was that a pass?
Sure.
I'm not sure that wasn't a pass.
Shot clock is off for Plum. Screen from Asia, who was free momentarily, but then steps called on
4 in a row.
Mitchell has to heave. Las Vegas Gray is back. That's probably going to be up.
I mean, Becky Hammond can dial up whatever she wants. She has that many weapons on the floor, and that's a nice clear-out ISO for Chelsea Gray to back down a defender. Most guards are smaller than Chelsea Gray.
And Indiana starts this second quarter with Caitlin Clark on the bench.
And Dantas getting her first minutes, number 12 in white for the Indiana Fever this season.
Here's Dantas, last played in the WNBA in July of 2022. Has been available the last couple of games, but now is on the floor. Back had an MCL issue in her knee.
Looks like zone off the timeout by Becky Hammond to start the quarter.
Asia Wilson also starting the quarter on the bench. Shot clock winding down. They need a shot. They get one, and it's hit by Erica Wheeler.
Good job by Wheeler to get to the dunker spot behind the backside of that zone and find some space.
All-Star MVP 2019, an undrafted player. He just went out. Kate Martin on the floor with Plum taking a rest. Wilson just shoots it over like Benley. Second chance because of Stokes.
Stokes on a step-up screen right here.
Now Chelsea Gray dribbled into traffic. Wheeler threw it way too far.
On that step quickly.
Thea Stokes averaging just 2.5 points per game. But Benley called for the foul on Wilson. Caitlin Clark comes back in.
To take her off the floor.
It's one thing she told her team at shoot-around today: we are not going to run out of gas. She thought they did that the first time they played. Gray rims out. Clark was able to chase it down. Indiana started out. They played a lot of games to start this season. Remember, they started 1-8. One of those losses was to Vegas.
A little bit unfair, if you might say. Just like I think Seattle's playing 9 straight games at home. How does that happen?
It's never happened before in the WNBA. I don't know how you get a 9-day homestand either. Interesting scheduling. Well, Leah Boston back in, has her hand up now. Smith. Boy, Asia Wilson. A little bit too physical. And what a gigantic leap this league has taken in a very short amount of time. This is Smith, only a 61% shooter from the line.
Coming off a double-double in the Phoenix game. 15 rebounds, a season high for Nalissa.
Nalissa Smith missed them both. Plum drives a little bit too strong, but Asia is there.
One of the things that Asia Wilson does so well is plays with incredible power and strength around the rim. I mean, she always has her shoulders square to the backboard. It's hard to block her shot. At 6'5", she's got a high release point.
Double figures scoring-wise. Boston just stayed patient to wait for Stokes to go by. Starting 5 back on the floor for Vegas. Wilson attacks Boston.
Again, you have to try to keep her on the right side of the floor if she catches on that side, even though she's capable. Oh, and a nice fake. And there's Stokes.
Thea Stokes comes in to get the block.
Uh-oh.
Here goes Asia. Count it.
Uh-oh. Transition game faster, just because Chelsea Gray is back.
Asia missed her first 3 shots tonight. She's hit 6 of 7 since, including 10 of Vegas's last 12 points. Clark has not gotten a field goal yet. Boston decides not to attack Stokes this time. Samuelson, no. Knocked around, and Roy Goldbain says it's Indiana basketball.
Kid superheroes in her eyes, she said that left a huge impact on her. So the fact that she gets to really just take complete domination of this league, we're seeing her right now, and some really fly shoots as well.
Hey.
I'll add this too, Debbie. The silver hair that we saw her at the beginning of the season at Media Day, I think she's a superhero in her own right.
She's got a lot of superpowers, that's for sure, when it comes to putting the ball in her hands. But you know what? She can wear LeBron's all she wants this year. Next year, she'll be wearing her own shoe, the A1s from Nike, and I can't wait to have some. We better be on that friends and family list, Pam.
That's great. We've been
Angel will be on it.
Very well deserved for Asia Wilson. Of course, Caitlin Clark gonna have her own signature.
I got some Candace Parkers. You want to keep going?
She was all right. Asia Wilson, what an inspiration. Becky Hammond says she's one of my favorite people on the planet. With the miss. But Asia's so grounded, comes from a great family, and is just a tremendous player. Wheeler decides to shoot. Plum was a little late getting over there, but it didn't matter. Chelsea Gray somehow got it to Wilson, but couldn't get it to go, and we're still waiting for Clark to get her first field goal.
I would go with back-to-back coaches' assists by Chelsea Gray, meaning when they go to film, and they watch those 2 plays, those are plays that they should have completed. She won't get an assist for it, but you get one from Becky and a rebound out of her area.
A foul on Alicia Clark. Chelsea Gray gets a huge ovation. And so does Sydney Colson, the people's choice, Sydney Colson. The ultimate teammate. Plum says the best teammate she's ever had. Doesn't get a lot of playing time, but part of the glue on this team. She need more playing time this year, however.
Good defense by Caitlin to keep her in front, but then it just gives Asia time to shape up to the ball.
Double team her all you want. Wilson has 14 of the last 16 points for the Aces. To the line. The Aces are part of our next WNBA game on ESPN and ESPN Deportes Sunday afternoon. They host the league's #2 leading scorer, Arike Gumwale in the wings. Coverage tips with WNBA Countdown at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. That's Vegas. And Angel and I will be back for that game, apparently, on Sunday. Indiana trailing now by 6. Caitlin Clark with only 3 points, all of them from the free throw line.
Jackie Young trying to draw a foul on that instead of finishing.
Danielson gets it over to Caitlin. In and out. But Leah Boston is there to pick her up.
The interior game for Indiana started to come alive a little bit. They've been trying to get Melissa Smith going in that matchup with Clark.
Elsie Plum from downtown. Now Boston blocked again. That's 4 for Asia. Wilson goes between the legs and gets fouled on the sideline for Asia. Goodness.
Triple-double watch, Pam.
Blocks, that would be amazing. Now spinning on Boston, there you go.
One-on-one, just too talented.
Almost unstoppable.
So good. Such great footwork at 6'5".
Danielson taking it out. Boston taking the 3. It's her 14th 3 attempt of the year. Plum can't go back-to-back. Now Clark trying to make something happen. Behind the back. Attacks the basket and gets her first field goal in style.
What a move. In the open floor, behind the back, through the legs, puts her defender in jail in transition. Scores off the glass.
She had missed her first 5 shots from the floor. Colson steps back on Clark. Sydney Colson with the bucket. Biggest lead of the game for Vegas. It's up to 10.
I mean, Sydney Colson is a 42% three-point shooter.
Mitchell answers. Just the second made 3 for Indiana. And you had said coming into this game, Indiana is going to need to hit some threes to have a chance.
They're going to have to score with Las Vegas because it's too much to defend. The pace has to be fast.
Clark going through all the calculations in her mind as to where to go. And that was not the right decision. Stokes able to get it, but she's kept her turnover down in this game.
It's just her second turnover. Now she does lead the league in that category.
Jackie Young, so physical, but Mitchell was able to stay with her. Caitlin again, a little hesitation. Asia Wilson. Now there's not a lot of practices, and she said she's actually looking forward to practice during the Olympic break so they can work on things.
Well, they got to clean up some things, obviously, but they've gotten so much better in the two-man game. They've understood timing and space. In her second year as the head coach for Indiana.
Played the Liberty 3 times during that 11-game stretch.
And 2 of those games weren't even close, Pam. So they'll get a chance to knock New York out in terms of off their schedule. You know, not have to play them anymore. That will help, and maybe they'll get a little break after this next portion of the schedule before the Olympic break.
Jackie Young, good defense on Clark. Indiana gives it away again. Plum grabs it, tries to go up and under, and it works. Great artistry there from Kelsey Plum.
So athletic.
One of my favorite stories, she made the U.S. sand volleyball team. Her sister went to try out. Kelsey went there just to go. Kelsey made the team, her sister didn't. Said her sister was not thrilled with that. As the half comes to her in that first half.
I mean, just getting her in space. She's being really patient. She's playing the right way. So, you know, we just kind of want to continue to get her the ball in spots where we feel she can do something. Oh, goodness gracious. Thanks.
Becky Hammond not enjoying watching that foul that sent Melissa Smith to the free throw line. With Indiana scoring just 13 points in that second quarter. They only scored 10 in the second quarter the first time these two teams played, when the Aces won by 19 in that brutal stretch. That was a back-to-backer right after Indiana had played at LA. Kelsey Mitchell had herself a good first half. That one's off the mark.
Melissa Smith 1 for 6 from the free throw line.
Yeah, they really have been hurt as we go over to Angel Gray.
Yeah, Chrissy Sides was just telling me the adjustments, and a lot like what Becky Hammond was saying about what she liked from her defense. Chrissy Sides said we're rushing ourselves on the offensive end, only shooting 33% in that second quarter, made 6 field goals. She said we feel like we're rushing some things, not getting what they want, and fast break as well. So just a couple of things they wanted to clean up, and just the main thing, slowing down in their approach on the offensive end.
Angel Gray with the miss. Young comes away with the rebound. Gray gets it out to Plum, left wide open, and she makes them pay.
Offensive rebounding gives that team another opportunity, and they're just too efficient. Third in the league in field goal percentage is Las Vegas.
Caitlin Clark gets it over to Smith from the free throw line, where she hasn't hit free throws and hasn't hit that field goal either. Young, Gray, corner 3. Rebounded by Smith. Caitlin Clark struggling with her offensive game in the first half, at least shooting-wise, just 1 of 7. Missed all 4 of her threes. But she did have 6 assists and 6 rebounds and just 2 turnovers. Aaliyah Boston, tough 2. No, it goes out. Melissa Smith cradles the rebound, and Kia Stokes cradles Melissa Smith. Instead of a foul on Stokes.
I love Kia Stokes' role on this team, how hard she plays, how much she affects the game without scoring.
And Kelsey Plum checked on the other Kelsey Mitchell to see if she was okay.
5 from Kelsey when she came over here for catching the ball, I think. Kelsey Plum.
Good hands. Gray bounce pass over to Wilson. In and out. Smith gets it, brings it up on her own. Until she finds Clark. Capacity crowd here in Vegas behind the back.
See, that's what Kia Stokes does right there. Gets to challenge that shot. See, that's not on the stat sheet what Kia Stokes just did there and rotating defensively.
Indiana finally got a shot to fall. Jackie Young, little indecision.
2.
And Stokes doing so much to not take a single shot in the first half. Another miss, this time for Boston. Wilson able to rescue the pass. There's her first shot attempt.
And she has made some from out there this year.
Stokes cut by the Liberty a few years ago and picked up by Vegas, where she has been an integral part of this double championship run. Smith with another rebound.
She's really working on the glass.
Samuelson, boy, Indiana ice cold from the outside to start things off.
Nice backdoor feed by Boston. Good execution on that sideline out of bounds play. They worked on that a lot at shoot around today.
Now a whistle. Made field goal for Caitlin tonight. Good ball movement. Young taking the shot over Boston. Jackie Young also having a tough shooting night. Just one field goal on 7 attempts.
I think Indiana's going to move the ball a little bit better because they're getting one shot and then they're done, and this allows Vegas to transition.
Great to Wilson, who was grabbed by Clark.
Got to move the ball, get a few more touches before they look to score.
Second foul on Clark. Now the other Clark, Alicia Clark, comes in for Vegas. Gives Stokes a break. Vegas has missed 7 of 8 shots in this quarter. Still lead it by 7. Caitlin Smith, one-hander, got it in. So Indiana taking advantage of Vegas's out to follow.
Good timeout by Coach Hammond. They had not scored until that basket.
Caitlin with another miss. And if you like to fit you saw, search what you see using. Asia Wilson's only taken 1 shot here in this quarter. Calling for the ball underneath was Aaliyah Boston. She was guarded by Wilson. Samuelson got the start today. She just threw her hands up in the air like, what more do I have to do?
Wide open in the slot.
The ball bounced around but did not fall. Chelsea Young, or Chelsea Gray from the Jackie Young spot, missed it. Clark launches, nails it.
So good going left into that handoff. Gets her feet under her.
It's the first 3 that she has hit after missing her first 5 from distance.
She's made 57 threes on the season, and all of them are above the break except for 1 corner triple.
Averaging almost 3 per game. Boston finishes. It's 7 assists now for Caitlin, and you hear the crowd. There are a lot of Fever fans in the building.
The run right now by Indiana, very similar to the 3rd quarter in the way they played at Phoenix. Caitlin Clark hit a 3, and then she dropped a dime for Boston to score a layup.
Plum driving and finishing with her offhand.
Indiana's got to keep Kelsey Plum in front. Such a great 3-level score.
Mitchell kept on going after Kelsey Gray going back to the Olympics, and Kelsey Plum, who won a gold medal in the 3x3 U.S. team, will be on the 5-on-5 U.S. team, and they hope to see more of that. Just like that, the lead's back up to 8. Good look for Boston, but she had a little bit too much on it. Young, a little bit of space, missed badly.
Yeah, it's a good job right here, Indiana. Slow it down right here. They've had some open looks. They've got to get Vegas rotating defensively. I'd go back to Boston.
Boston now getting it inside. In fact, Benley double teamed and another whistle.
Decisions. She's such a threat from up there. To be able to shoot it herself, her shot up there is improving, but she's also gotten better at reading the weak side, getting numbers on the backside of that action.
Second foul on Alicia Clark. 5 blocks now for Asia. Career high is 7. And then the outside shot from Mitchell. Indiana hanging in there. Young buries it.
You can't help off the corners. You got 2 3-point shooters there, and if you just play the numbers game in the middle of the floor.
Clark again going left. Aaliyah Boston with the offensive putback.
See, and that's Boston on a great screen and handoff. And then nobody gets back to help Aaliyah Boston, whose assignment is Asia Wilson, but Asia never crossed midcourt on that play.
Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum combining for 42 of Vegas's 61 points. Clark was able to drive, comes away holding on to her eye. Kate Martin back in the game. There she is, number 20. Plum doesn't need much time with that rimmed out.
This is where Caitlin Clark's gotten better at managing the tempo of the game, too.
Well, bounce pass to Benley, but she couldn't. Martin calling for it. They go around the horn. Shot clock winding down, so it's all Asia.
So complete going left.
So freaking good, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Oh, my God.
This season.
I call that a take foul.
Becky Hammond did not agree. Mitchell hits another one from the outside.
She really accelerates into her actions.
Indiana has a foul to give. Down around the Wilson screen.
It's not just a great screen, it's how Jackie Young uses it. She takes her defender below the level of screen, then accelerates off that hip of Asia Wilson.
Shot clock off for Clark. Lost it momentarily, picked up by Plum. Caitlin Clark making the All-Star team. They will play the U.S. Olympic team in Phoenix. Caitlin's not going to shoot it. She wanted Mitchell to do it.
All things in perspective.
And it certainly does. Bailey Lux, a big Iowa fan, as you mentioned, and has brought that into the WNBA. She had a jersey on today. We saw her shoot around. Plum from distance again. And it was nice because Indiana had her family come out and let them partake in the half-court shooting that teams do when they wrap up their shoot-arounds. You see the scoring leaders. Vegas up by 9. Pam Ward, Deb Antonelli, and Angel Gray joining you from T-Mobile Arena, which is sold out. Standing room only tickets also were available. Moved from Michelob Ultra Arena, where they usually play, because of the high ticket demand. Plum drives on Clark, and free throws. Kelsey Plum has just equaled her season high with 27 points. Mitchell over to Benley, who might not have been expecting it, and then 14 points, 11 rebounds.
When the game was just a couple of possessions at the end of the third quarter against Washington, Vegas outscored Washington in their last game 21-8 in the fourth quarter. It was their defense that locked in. And right now they're playing pretty much straight up. They're switching, but they're not doing a lot of trapping or any scheming like that. They're just getting in the stance right now and staying active. It's a tough contested too.
Beaver shooting only 37% from the floor. In fact, Benley missed the layup. Clark just blocked, and a held ball, jump force. Demi at 6'4", about 5 inches taller. Asia Wilson chases it down. Plum, new season high for Kelsey.
Kelsey Plum, shoot till your arm falls off. My goodness.
It's a 10-0 Vegas run after Indiana made it close.
Well, it was a 6-point, 2-possession game to start the fourth quarter.
Plum has hit 6 of 10 threes tonight. A career high, by the way, 40 points in a game against Minnesota last year. Jackie Young rolls off. Clark directing traffic, and then Young with a great play knocks it away.
Space. So versatile on the top of the floor for Vegas, and then there's A'ja through the nail.
A great reaction from A'ja. Indiana has not scored in almost 4 minutes. Vegas has scored a lot.
Around the WNBA and these 12 teams, and I'll tell you what, I'm here for all of it. I'm celebrating all of it.
Soon to be 14 teams. The Bay Area joins next year. And then Toronto gets a team the year after that. Go Canada. So exciting times in this league. Caitlin Clark, thousands of people showing up to see her. Samuelson, who got the start today. Katie Lou did not play last year. She was a little busy having a little baby human. A great comeback for her.
Wow, Kelsey Plum, are you kidding me? I mean, she's just dialing it up right here.
Samuelson left it short. So and we got close. 5th most ever to see a WNBA regular season game tonight. It also came about 24 people short of the highest attended basketball game ever in the city of Las Vegas.
I mean, everywhere Indiana goes is sold out. 9 of the top 10 most viewed games involve Indiana. 9 of the 10 top attendances involve Indiana. I call it Clarkonomics, Pam. It's good business for the league.
And they're not just showing up to see her, too, right?
Oh, no, there's a lot.
We're seeing what's happening in Chicago, and just the rising tide lifts all boats, and we're seeing that.
Exactly, and it's good business for the league. It's good for the players. But Caitlin is the ultimate. And won it twice. If you don't know who she was, you better Google her. And then Rachel Garcia, the great player at UCLA, softball player, won it as well. So in the history of the award since 1976, only 4 players have won it twice,
including Clark. We're now under 5 minutes to go. Plum continues. She's just a pest.
The athletes in this league, the incredible fitness and athleticism with the skill set is what makes the product the narrative. The product has been good for a long time, Pam. A lot of new eyes are coming to it.
Plum with 32 points, a new season high, and has 3,000 career points on the nose with those 32 points tonight. Jackie Young saying she was hit in the face. Plum, oh my goodness.
What a second half for Kelsey Plum.
She had 14 at the break, 12 points alone in this quarter.
I think the defense of Vegas did have some disruptive qualities on Indiana's shot-making ability. Even the wide-open ones, they seem to be sped up tonight.
Fever shooting only 36% from the floor tonight.
How about Kelsey Plum with those 32 and a full house like this? In this environment, how much fun has it been to be in here tonight? Amazing.
Plum now with 34 points in as many minutes tonight. Nelson Mitchell has shot the ball well from distance. Got 5 threes on 9 attempts. Caitlin Clark was playing with 5 fouls. Stokes got herself a bucket. her second shot attempt of the night. Mitchell again. Had a cup out. Plum full speed ahead. Oh my goodness.
Look at Kia Stokes with 4 white jerseys, comes down with a rebound.
Stokes gives a little smile to Plum, who dribbles out of the corner. Shot clock winding down. Jackie Young. Asia Wilson with another rebound. Thought she was fouled, but instead,
like they did in Washington with that 21-8 run in the fourth quarter.
They are outscoring Indiana 19-8 in this quarter. Plum got Clark up in the air. Asia, a little fade away, got the roll.
It's so hard to scheme with Vegas. I really think you've got to outscore them if you're going to beat them. I think their balance is too good. Their pace and tempo can change throughout the game. They have the ability to change the rhythm of the game with their offense and with their defense.
Clark to Boston, who rolls it in. Another assist for Caitlin. US Olympic team, 5-on-5 team this year, along with Jackie Young, Asia Wilson, and Chelsea Gray. How about that? 4 of your 5 starters are on the American Olympic team.
It's impressive, and they've all earned a spot there. Indiana looks like they're showing a little zone off the timeout just to change it up.
Plum has outscored Indiana, in this quarter by herself.
There's not many things you can do with Asia Wilson, is there?
No.
I mean, and then you've got Jackie Young, who plays her role so well at a high level. Kelsey Plum. You have 3 players in the top 10 in scoring in the league. Those are the 3.
Playing defense for the bitter end. Stokes comes up with another rebound. She has a dozen. Jackie Young has not shot the ball well tonight, but she has 10 assists. It's the other things, right, other than scoring, that you need.
It's what you need in different nights with different matchups. And that's the versatility of Becky Hammond's offense. She can dial up whatever she wants. And here's the other thing. For closing out games, even though this isn't close, their ball handlers are all over 80% from the free throw line. They all have a 2-to-1, and there's no decoy on this team. They're all legitimate threats on ATOs, dead ball situations, or whatever matchups you want to throw them in.
Shot clock winding down, and Clark didn't realize it, I don't believe. Tried to get the pass into.
Frustrated.
The team will go home tonight. This is the last of a 5-game road trip for them. It doesn't get any easier. They don't have to play until the 6th, so a couple of days to regroup. Then they host the Liberty, who beat Minnesota today.
Rematch of the Commissioner's Cup.
That's thrown the gentleman in the first row. But shots, just 1 of 7 from 3. 6 rebounds, 11 assists. But the 2-time defending champs looking very much like it as Kelsey Plum held out her hand, finally just backed away from her for a while.